Hi, I'm Gary West for NCTV 45, and this is Focus NC. It's part number 2 of a conversation I'm having with Joanne Esposito, who is a breast cancer survivor. And she has a special story because of special treatment she's on right now that was developed and researched by another Newcastle native, Dr. Dennis Slayman. Now, we touched a little bit on Dr. Slayman in the last part, but we want to talk a little bit more about Dr. Slayman. He played this huge role in the development, as I said, of this drug called Herceptin. It's considered a revolutionary treatment for breast cancer, and he's known as a miracle worker in many circles. And do you know, Joanne, if they ever did that movie on Lifetime Channel about Dr. Slayman?
Oh yeah, they run it. Usually you can find it, you can pull it up on demand most often, but around the month of October, because it is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, you can usually find it very easily. It's called Living Proof. Harry Connick Jr. plays his part.
Oh, we like Harry.
I know, I do too. He seems like a very nice man. I would love to meet him in person, but I know Dr. Slayman was a little worried at the time when they wanted to write the get this to a movie. It's based off of a book, and I'm sorry, I don't remember the author's name. And I did meet the lady who wrote the script for the movie at a dinner that we attended at UCLA for Dr. Slayman. And he was a little worried that it was going to be too Hollywood, but I really don't think it is. I remember the first time I met him, I had written to him a year before, and I thanked him for his work and for the fact that he was able to save my life through his research. And I said, I hope to meet you one day in person, and I did get to do that in '04. And he said, don't thank me. He said, thank the women who put their last days on the line to test this drug. And I truly didn't understand the emotion that went behind that, because I'm thinking if I had days to live or months to live and there was a new drug out, I'd be more than happy to try it. But at the time, they didn't know the dosing, they didn't know the effect that it was going to have. And you got to see that in the movie, and then I understood. And it's an excellent movie, I think, and it shows you the determination that he had, because it took him 12 years to convince them to run the clinical trials to get this to the public.
Yeah, you brought up a point that I was going to touch on. In 1998, Herceptin became one of the first gene-based therapies for cancer, and Dr. Slayman and his team started this research back in 1986. So that puts it in perspective. It takes a long time to get it started, do the research, get the team together, and start seeing results. And Dr. Slayman is bringing now this is based on what he said, collaboration, I'm paraphrasing, it's a collaboration of cancer research investigators together through this organization he has, Stand Up for Cancer. And Dr. Slayman, as you told me before we started our conversation, you said that he travels all over the world.
Oh my gosh.
Giving his seminars, I would guess.
He conducts clinical trials all over the world, all over the United States. There are trials being done. And obviously he's, for financing people to back him and his research therapy. He's just an incredible man. When I tell you he travels the globe, you go to Italy, Spain, Syria. He's been all over China. He touches the women that he's saving. They're all over the world. I know he got to meet a doctor from China, and the doctor thanked him for saving his mother who lived in China. And I'm thinking, my gosh, this man's he's reaching the globe. He's incredible.
We'll have to talk to him in the future on Focus NC. We'll try to. I know he's busy, but we'll try to snag him down somewhere.
He is very busy.
Now, throughout your treatment, your sons, Brad and Brian, were not only a great support to you, but they became an inspiration. Why don't you tell everybody what they did for you when you were going through the chemo
Well, I was diagnosed in March of '03, and it was probably about May. Our son Brian called from Las Vegas. He, at the time, was a golf professional. He worked for TPC Canyons as the head golf professional. And he said, "Mom, how about," how about we raise funds for breast cancer research? And I said, "Okay, but what do we need to do?" He said, "Well, first we need to pick a name. We need to get trademarked. We need to we need to develop a logo." He said, "So start sketching, start doing this, thinking of names and so forth." Well, one thing led to another, and we came up with the name Par for the Cure, Par for the golf, obviously, and we developed our logo. And Brian had a friend in Las Vegas who had a law degree and helped him with the paperwork and so forth, so that we could become trademarked, and we are a nonprofit organization. We didn't have enough funding at the time, so we never held our first event until '05. Do you need a break?
Well, at the end of this segment, we're going to tell how, or at the end of the third segment, we're going to tell everybody how they can donate and get involved. But I just wanted you real quick to tell everybody about what your sons did when you lost your hair.
Oh, I see. Okay.
And then the flowers. Tell us about the flowers.
Okay. Well, they came home. Like I said, I was diagnosed in March. They came home in June. And at that point, I started my very first treatment. Chemotherapy treatment was the day after Mother's Day. And so when they came home the first part of June, my hair started falling out big time. And I thought, okay, it's time to get rid of this hair. So I went downstairs, I had clippers, and I shaved my head. I had just come out of the shower and I needed to get rid of this hair. And I faced the boys, and they immediately grabbed the clippers and they shaved their heads as well. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm seeing this. But it was just, it was such an emotional ride at that point in my life. And they made arrangements for flowers to come once a month.
Once a month?
While I was getting my chemotherapy. So for 6 months, I got flowers delivered once a month. And I take painting classes, watercolor classes at the Hoyt. And so I just started painting the different bouquets that came. And one thing led to another, and I started to have my paintings printed into note cards. And I would sell the cards, and 100% of the proceeds from those cards, I set up an account here at home, and all the proceeds would go into that account for eventually when we got our charity up and running, that we would be able to get this money to Dr. Slayman for his research.
And those note cards are available at different shops and boutiques?
They're at Weingartner's. I think Butts still has them at their shop. If not, they can always call me. You can see what's available on our website. And the originals I take to the golf events that we have in Las Vegas, and those are auctioned off on a silent auction table.
And we're going to give you more information on how you can get involved and help out the cause. So stay with us tomorrow, or tune in again tomorrow for segment number 3 of Focus NC on NCTV 45.